Seasonal affective disorder. Every year, not across the whole world, we shift into daylight saving time, which is when we move the clocks backwards in the fall or autumn, which is going to happen 2 a.m. on the 30th next weekend, and again in the spring when we shift them forward. This was created because of war years, trying to create extra hours to do more things. It's something humans created. It's not natural. The natural circadian rhythms of the day is all about sun up and sundown. It's our relationship with light and dark, and it's a balance between light and dark. The blue light from daylight encourages the certain hormones like serotonin to be produced, which triggers all our wake hormones. The dark, which is not necessarily has to be complete blackout, but that's amber light, red light, yellow light, candle light. None of those types of lights affect us in that serotonin way like blue light does. But the darkness in those darker periods triggers the melatonin buildup, which triggers our relaxed chill out and go in towards a sleep state period. So it's quite important for us all to understand that as we shift from the summer into the autumn, as the light starts to change, and then particularly when we shift the clocks, we're exposed to a far more daylight, blue light, than we would normally be. Because we're waking up in the morning and the lights are on, there's no sunlight coming in from the summer. We're in our cars, on tubes and trains going to work and stuck in our offices all day long, exposed to the blue light. As we get home, it's still dark. It can start getting dark at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and we get home. We don't necessarily go out and do all of those lovely social things because we're in dark and cold. So we tend to get a little bit more depressive because we're changing our habits and our lifestyles, and principally this relationship with light and dark. So what you do need to understand about, it's not like shutting down your tech and everything else, is that during the course of your everyday 24 hours, what you do from the point of wake to when you're going actually into a sleep state again is going to determine that quality. So for some people who've got what we class as morning chronotypes, owls and larks, it's a little genetic twist. It's how it determines how you're going to go through your day. So if you're a morning type, then you need a little bit of help now as we shift the clocks. If you're a nighttime chronotype, you need even more help because we're dragging you out of bed and taking you to work. So the relationship with light cannot be more important. So whether you identify you struggle with seasonal affective disorder, SAD as they call it, or not, pretty much all the people I've ever met will suffer from it. And I can feel it coming already. And so have my colleagues within Sports Sleep Coach. So now it's coming. What sort of things can you do? Well, certainly raise your awareness of the circadian rhythms of the day. Just tap it into your browser, have a look at some visuals and see what's going on. That will help. Have a little look at your own chronotype. If you don't identify with it or you think you're an in-between or whatever, then there's a little test you can do online. If you go to the Munich University, that might help you. Or maybe your friends and colleagues will be able to help you identify it as well. Those two little things will certainly get you one step further. The next thing is to remember that the first part of your day is critical. So what is commonly used? This is just a little travel unit. It's from Lumi, but there's various other companies like Philips who produce these light therapy tools. And all you have to do is think about it, that within here you've got the natural light. And if you can have that by your side, you know, something that's there when you wake up in the morning. These little devices are great because while you're in your room in blackout, you can actually put this on so it brings light into your room before your natural wake time or alarmed wake time. That means you're shifting to the nice wake hormone serotonin, so you feel a little bit more refreshed and get a better start to the day. And even if you have it around the kitchen while you're fueling up and hydrating, and even when you get into your workplace, there are things like little things you could have there, which is called the Zest. You could have a dawn wake simulator, which is specific to your bedroom, which does that same process. This can travel around with you a little bit more, but you can also have a desk lamp on your desk to put that light in, and if you get a little bit of knowledge of how to use it, it's a great way to sort of deal with those fatigue moments throughout the day and keep that mood boosting serotonin level up when you need it and get rid of it when you don't. There's other types of things that are a little bit more funky and trendy. The light and the dark is all about through your eyes, whether your eyelids are closed or not. So the light goes in, triggers things within a gland in your brain called the pineal gland, which creates this shift between melatonin and serotonin without getting too technical or clinical. There is another way to do it. So we have some friends out in Finland who've done a hell of a lot of work over the years, and like we're seeing all the time with technology bringing things into our lives, this is called the human charger. Now it's a bit dramatic, the human charger, but all it is using the daylight, as we can see here from the little system. It's using that same light that we've got in these other devices to simply put it straight through the ear canal and into the same process. Now, with a lot of things, when you come into these areas, intrusive is a word that's used a lot. So the one thing about this sort of type of product is that it's very commonplace for us to have things in our ears. So with this particular product, I can use it. It's fantastic for traveling, for jet lag resetting, because that's specific to light therapy. It's something I can use at my desk, on the tube, on a train, anywhere. And when I know about the circadian rhythms, and I know that there's that midday drop between 1 and 3 and 5 and 7, we know that we can use these things just to give us a little boost and a balance. Sometimes these types of products and other bigger products are more fixed to certain areas, but this can travel wherever you go. And all you do is click it on. It will travel for 15 minutes, won't go any further, so even if you fell asleep with them in, it's not going to overdose you in that sense. And it's just literally keeping the serotonin level up by putting daylight into that pineal gland. So it's something that as technology starts to come in, if you've got the right approach, winter comes same time every year. It's not a shock to us. We know what's going to happen. We know how it's going to affect us. But if we've got the R90 technique inside of us, which is that redefining process, those 7 KSRIs that really define how you're going to approach your sleep and valuably not waste your time doing it, is that these little things can actually come into your life and be part of that process. In isolation, they may not work as well. But this is certainly one product that a lot of people could use simply because you don't really know what I'm doing while I'm sat on the tube or at my desk working. So, seasonal affective disorder, it's not made up. Everybody probably will be suffering from it at some point during the course of the next few weeks and months. Don't let it impact on your performance. Get in control of it. Use some little things that you can live. Make sure that when you're going through your day that the best light is going to be midday always at this point in time. It's going to be quite dim as you start the day, and it's going to drop down quite quickly afterwards. So keep an eye on these things and don't let it affect you. Have a look at some products that you can add into your life and change the way that you approach it, and you'll have more success. And good luck with those tips.